The bell above Rosie's diner door jingled softly as Ethan Cole stepped inside, brushing a swirl of late autumn wind from his jacket. He'd only meant to grab a black coffee before heading to Madison Elementary to pick up his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. But the moment his boots hit the tiled floor, something in the air told him to slow down. The diner smelled of cinnamon pie and burnt toast, yet beneath it was something heavier, a kind of quiet tension that prickled at the edges of his senses. He noticed her right away. She sat in the corner booth, hunched forward, long brown hair spilling like a curtain over her face. Her hands gripped a chipped ceramic mug so tightly that the coffee inside barely rippled when she brought it to her lips. But it wasn't her trembling hands that caught Ethan's attention. It was her eyes. They kept flicking, quick, panicked movements, toward the narrow back exit by the kitchen. Once. Twice. Again. She wasn't just looking. She was calculating. And then Ethan saw why. At the far end of the counter, a man in a leather jacket leaned casually against a bar stool. He wasn't eating. He wasn't drinking. He was just watching her. His smirk was slow, deliberate, the kind of smile predators wore when they thought the game was already won. Ethan's chest tightened. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her story. But after years in the Marines, and the last 2 scraping by as a single father, he knew the look of someone trapped. And right now, she looked like she was running out of time. Ethan took a seat 2 booths away, facing her. The waitress, Rosie herself, ambled over with a warm smile. "The usual, hon?" she asked. He hesitated, eyes flicking back to the girl, then nodded. "Yeah. Coffee. Black." As Rosie left, Ethan caught the woman's eyes for the first time. Just for a heartbeat, but enough to see it, raw, unfiltered fear. And something else, a silent plea. The man at the counter shifted his weight, glancing at the clock, then toward the back exit. Ethan's instinct screamed, "She's not safe." When Rosie set his coffee down, Ethan leaned closer and kept his voice low. "That guy at the counter, he bothering you?" Her eyes widened slightly. For a moment, she didn't answer. Then, so quietly he almost missed it, she whispered, "I can't talk here." That was enough for him. "Okay," he murmured. "When I get up, you follow me. Just act natural." Her grip on the mug tightened, but she gave the smallest of nods. Ethan stood, tossed a few bills on the table, and walked toward the back exit. He could hear footsteps behind him, light, hurried, and the soft scrape of a chair on tile as the man at the counter moved too. Outside, the cold air hit like a slap. The alley behind the diner was narrow, lined with dumpsters and a single rusted fire escape. Ethan stepped aside, letting her pass first. "What's your name?" he asked, scanning behind them. "Claire," she said, breathless. "Please, he's going to." Her words cut off as the back door burst open. The man in the leather jacket stepped out, eyes locking on Claire. "You think you can just walk away?" Ethan moved without thinking, positioning himself between them. "She's not going anywhere with you." The man sneered. "Who the hell are you? Stay out of it. Not gonna happen." For a moment, it felt like the alley shrank to just the 3 of them. Then the man lunged. Ethan caught him by the collar and shoved him back hard enough that his shoulder slammed against the wall. "Leave. Now." The man's eyes narrowed, but something in Ethan's stance, the way he stood like someone who'd been in fights before and wasn't afraid of another, made him hesitate. With a muttered curse, he turned and stormed off toward the street. Ethan exhaled slowly, turning to Claire. "Come on. We're not staying here." They walked quickly, crossing 2 streets before ducking into a small park. Claire sat heavily on a bench, wrapping her arms around herself. "Thank you," she said, voice trembling. "You don't know what you just saved me from." "You don't have to tell me," Ethan replied gently. "But if you want to, I'll listen." For a moment, she stared at the ground. Then she said, "He's my ex. We were together for 2 years. At first he was perfect. But then he started controlling everything, my phone, my job, even my friends. I finally got the courage to leave last month, but he keeps finding me. I thought I'd lost him this time, but," her voice broke. Ethan's heart ached. He thought of Lily, of what it would mean if she were ever in this woman's place. "You're safe now," he said firmly. "And you're not going back to him." That night, Ethan made a choice. He drove Claire to a friend's place 2 towns over, a retired nurse who sometimes helped women in trouble. Over the next weeks, Claire began to rebuild her life. She got a new job, found a safe apartment, and started therapy. But she never forgot that cold afternoon in Rosie's diner, or the man who'd stepped in when everyone else pretended not to see. And Ethan? He'd gone in for coffee and left with the reminder that sometimes, the smallest moments of courage could change everything. Months later, Claire showed up at his door with a gift, a worn leather-bound journal. Inside, on the first page, she'd written, "For the man who noticed. For the man who cared. You didn't just help me escape that day. You gave me my life back." Ethan closed the journal, his throat tight. He looked at Lily playing in the yard, her laughter ringing out in the crisp air, and thought, if she's ever in trouble, I pray someone will do the same for her. Sometimes, heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes, they're just single dads who notice when someone keeps looking at the exit, and choose to help them find it.